Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Division. This is the NA portion, and this is losers round number 8. As we've got an interesting matchup to see here. We've got Period versus Bedward Esport. Not one, only one, not many esport coming in for you today from the side of Bedward.
Yeah, just a singular esport. They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, don't they, Joker? But
Yep.
let's see if they can hold a candle to the absolute dominance that we saw from the American scene from former Redbird. This game, it's got content written all over it, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. As I was saying in the warm-up, this is either going to be the greatest game of Overwatch Open Division we have ever seen, or the VOD will have to be deleted, and we shall speak no further. It will go away in a box, and we will not talk about it. But I'll give you guys a quick run through of the players. We'll start with Purity, and then I'll throw it over to my lovely play-by-play caster for tonight, Joker's Ransom, who will probably go through Bedward Esports. So, for Period, which I will mispronounce many times, we've got Skipper on the hit stand, Pokane on the Fledge DPS, Osamu and Interstellar main tank, off tank respectively, Zoolander and Bingo as their support line. They do have Marble as a flex sub as well. I'm assuming that means they'll be playing potentially a variety of roles. And that rounds up Purity. Saw them last week and they look pretty strong. Not quite sure how they match up to this Bedward Esport roster, but they definitely have compositions, angles to go off. In particular, their Ball Tracer was very, very good.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then on the side of Bedward here, we've got Stunape, Viral on the DPS line there, DMT and Libe running out that tank line, and then Bagel. What is that pronunciation on our?
That's troll. It has to be.
It's Bagel and Paz rounding out the support line. A lot of collegiate players here on that starting 6, it looks like. And then we've got on their bench, and we've got Shocker and Nylon. Maybe we'll see them, maybe we don't. But that's the roster we're looking at for the side of Bedward.
Fitting that they are choosing the name of our current collegiate team, considering they do have a lot of people here. I believe PSU, 2 players, DMT and Paz. I believe that is that Penn State? I think it is.
Yes.
American collegiate knowledge not the best. Obviously, Akron is a city town in Ohio.
Yeah.
Which they only know because basketball player LeBron James was born there. But looks like they've got a lot of collegiate presence, which is good to see. I think the actual Redbird themselves definitely sort of reignited, really breathed fire back into the collegiate scene over here in America, and it's good to see, and it's producing a lot of talent that we're going to have to see match up as we get over to our first map, which is going to be Nepal. This one, I always say, Joker, we're going to get a good look at these teams, what they play, what they like, what they don't, because you have to play, in my mind, in this current meta, you have to play 3 different compositions for every one of these points, and you have to be good at all 3, otherwise your chances of taking away a 2-0 or just taking the map away in general can be very slim.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, all of these 3 maps, and then the first one we're going to be seeing here is Village, and well, it is normally where you see a standard brawl with the Rein Diva, but right now we're seeing from both of these 2 teams, neither of that brawl. We're seeing a Ball Sigma coming out from Bedward for the moment. Both teams actually locking the Ball Sigma here, Jace.
Yeah, so they're just going to mirror it. I assume one of them is potentially expecting Rush, but this is the go-to, the bread and butter. This is the classic. Going to be seeing this all evening, I'm sure. Obviously, both teams going to be swapping over to the Tracer. There we go. And right now, it's just going to be a fight for the high ground. Who can get control with their Sigma and their Zen to be able to poke down and drain enemy resources.
We do see a key difference coming in from both of these 2 teams, opting for Cassidy on the side of Bedward and Period using the legs, the Soldier 76, and well, it's starting out well for that team with the Soldier 76. Interstellar taking down DMT early on, and well, that's going to win them this first fight. No, they're going to just leave it for a time being. Well, now they're going to finally get back to the point and capture things up, and no, they're going to get stalled up for the time being. Finally going to be there is the capture for the side of Period, as well, right now it's anyone's game at the moment, because we do see Asuma super low at the moment. Gonna get healed up there, and well, it's still anyone's point. No one has found a pick yet here. Jay says,
DMT.
yeah, they're just, oh, there he goes. There's the finally period opening things up off the back of some nice Zenyatta play there with their, with the Discord orb.
There we go. I think that's just the nature of 6v6. Obviously, we've seen 5v5 at the high levels, but for now, in North American Open Vision, we are still playing 6v6. A domino effect there, I think, to be honest. Everyone sort of fell down at once. All the cooldowns were burned. There was no grasp to come out from Lieb. There was no shield that could come out as well. The armor packs were drained dry from Bagel as well. And I mean, it was just too much damage thanks to the Discord orb from Period. And now, I mean, they draw this fight out. They draw it out so well. And they've got resources to be able to kick back against a potential Bedred recontest as well.
Well, DMT started things off with a minefield, but it does look like Period Judd were able to kite it away and not really take much damage from it. As the rally does come out, like you did say, but they're going to be forced back as Bedred because you can't really walk into a armored clad team of Period at the moment, as they're going to try to roll in here. The minefield coming now out from Asumo to try to do something. The Deadeye coming out, Stunade gonna find one. That's gonna be a huge play coming in from Bedward now, as they're gonna be able to open things up and finally get some capture percentage rolling.
Yeah, there we go. It is a long time coming. It's a little bit too late, if you ask me, because Period got themselves, honestly, just a great percentage on that point. They capped first, and then they played the long game. Bedward initially, all the way at the start, just as that point had done flipped, had done really good to sort of regroup and sort of poke away resources as DMT got back. But now they have to commit basically the entire farm to get percentage on the point. Period. You just need to walk in and flux. Losing Pokane, though, that's a big dampener on Period's flank angle.
It definitely is. It definitely is indeed. As Viral finding another one in this pick, in this fight before really the fight breaks out. As both DPS are down, you're going to just have to back up because you don't have the damage to push in.
Yeah, big moves from the time-traveling British woman here, celebrating Pride Month in great fashion, as you like to see. Genuinely, though, Bedred Esports, they need to find these picks. They need to find these solo individual plays because they're so behind in Ultimate State. Basically have to go perfect to be able to win this round. So you can't afford any mistakes. Any chance you get to be able to take a pick or two, you absolutely need if you are this current defending team. Visor goes out from Skipper, though. Can it find the pesky flanker of Pokane?
Oh, it's not going to. They're not going to find Viral, but they do find DMT, which is a big pick. So much disruption now gone for the side of Bedward here, as they're going to look to come in. There is the Transcendence on the board, but it does not save Bagel there for the side of Bedward, as it's really even, as now the Transcendence is out for the side of Period, as they're going to come back strong, as Asumo finds two of their own to open things up into the favor of the team in red, as an overtime bar is going to tick down. It's just a couple of people left on the board for Bedward, as Pokane finds too late, and that's going to be it. They're going to take the first round of Nepal.
There we go, and they take it in pretty convincing fashion. Finally, the building up waves and waves of momentum, of pressure, just come crashing down, and it's tsunami-esque for Bedward Esports. They were caught, unfortunately, in an F5 tornado. They had nowhere to go. There was no high ground for them morally or in the literal sense. They just could not regain that high ground and then transition themselves onto the objective. Pass and Lieb here for Bedward, so squishy but so crucial to their composition, the same way that Interstellar and Marble were. But the difference came, Joker, is that Interstellar and Marble were just able to stay on the high ground. They were able to be uncontested, were able to poke, they were able to cycle their cooldowns so much more effectively, and Bedward were always at a disadvantage. They were always down something, a key cooldown at the start of essentially every fight. They are going to switch things up, though. Stunade going to be going over to the Ash to sort of hopefully get some dynamite onto the backline and in particular try and pressure the bridge, but Period, they're just going to stick with.
Yeah, there's some nice damage coming into Stunade there. It's going to start thing off good for the side of Period, as they're going to have to push back. They're going to be in this tight little room. There's no real where to go for the rest of Bedward, as they're going to fall down as the team kill gong sounds for the side of Period.
That was just a brutal wipe. Interstellar playing the off angle, absolutely perfectly. Little bit of a Sigma differential there. You hate to see it, you hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to be honest. Interstellar's control there, the timing, the angles were so good. Just able to whittle down Bedred Esports when Marble and Zoolander were able to come cleaning up with him as well. The backline, the off tank, and the support line of Period T right now, this 3-3 ball composition. It's all about Interstellar and Marble right now. They're doing so much work. Cocaine finds a nice pick onto the Tracer as well, and it's just going to be more time that Bedred Esports has to go back to spawn. They have to rethink, and they have to, honestly, I think, make adjustments, because so far they're not matching up to Period's ball composition.
Yeah, and when we see this Tracer duel just completely just go into the favor of Cocaine so many times, it's just it's got to be backbreaking for the side of Bedred. But no, just as I say that, Viral finally getting in the back here as they do get Skipper out of this fight, and the Eat coming out, Genevieve taking away Cocaine's ultimate for the time being, as now the side of Bedred trying to open things up as Viral finally coming alive, finding 3 in this fight. They do lose DMT, but Paz is going to be there to answer the call as well, finding 2 of their own, as it is going to finally go into the favor of Bedred.
Nice, really nice fight for them. I think they heard us talking smack. I think they heard us definitely pipping Period over them. Viral did it last round and does it again now. Finds 2 or 3 crucial picks just to open the fight up for his team. Paz is there to clean up, going to be rewarded with a Transcendence because of it. Luckily for Bedred, only give away 55% on the first time.
Yeah, as we're seeing some things going on here as Transcendence rallies, everything is out from everyone here, but no picks have come through, and this is going to be even trades all around, 1 for 1 at the moment, but losing Marble is going to be huge. But just as I say that, the side of Period come alive and take all the picks they need to get the point back into their favor.
They are going to. I thought for sure that Bedred actually had a great angle into it, but I think just brilliant response from Period there. Not really too much I can say about that fight. Marble had the Transcendence used perfectly to counter Leap's floods, and I mean, the rally that came out from Zoolander as well, I believe that came out afterwards, just helped add that extra armor. Obviously, still don't know which one, so there was armor, no health pool. I mean, DMT tried to go for an aggressive engage. He manages to get Marble, slots of Danger Man for Period T gone down, no Discord.
Yeah, but then Cocaine is going to trade it out. They've taken out Paz, and it's even right now. The attack visor does come out from Skipper to try to turn it back, but it is traded still. Even all around, there it goes. Skipper going down as the side of Bedred is going to come out and take everything they need to get the point back into their favor.
There we go. They're going to be really healthily bolstered next fight as well, thanks to this upcoming Bob from Stunape as well. It's been a little bit quiet so far compared to the other 4 DPS or the 3 DPS in the lobby. As I say that, Cocaine kills DMT. No hamster for Bedred Esports. Have they overextended? Have they overplayed? And have they been punished? Let's find out.
Well, it does seem so, as Osumo gonna go down here. The Bob gonna come out from Stunape as well. Try to keep it into the favor of Bedred for the time being, as Viral finding a nice pulse bomb kill onto Zoolander, and well, it's gonna continue to stay in the favor of Bedred at the moment. As they're going to continue to look to win this fight out. It's still even. There's still some fights going on, but it does look like Bedred have it for the time being.
Yeah, percentage slowly ticking up for them. They're fine to play the waiting game. They need key ultimates to come online as well. Period T, they're definitely racing against the clock right now. They need to commit key resources and, well, force them out from Bedred. As they say that, that's one ultimate for the other in terms of support. That's Rally versus Transcendence. Rally still sticking out though, and allowing Period to get on the point and try and enter themselves back as they look to retake.
Yeah, they're looking to retake, and they need to retake it now if they want to keep it and from going to a map number 3, as it does seem like it's going to happen. They're filling the kill feed right now with all of their kills. As Bedred can't really do much about it, as they're going to be able to take it back and bring it to last fight territory.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be last fight territory now. Redbird have to rotate into them. Their flank angles are going to be taken away. This is going to be a visor on the back angle from Skipper, and he finds a pair, manages to get a snipe onto Viral as well. Finished off by Sigma. There's no one in the galaxy, in the universe, that can contest this soldier, but honestly, the rest of his team had him backed up anyway. The clock ticks down, the wick goes out, and the lights die on the side of Bedred Esports as the first map goes over to Period T. Really, really well executed on that ball, Orisa. Sorry, on that, not Orisa, on that ball, Sigma. composition. They played it well. Their fundamentals were absolutely great. They won so many fights in the poke phase, which is not something that you can say for many board compositions. Many teams that play ball, especially at this level in open division. But yeah, it's the backline, it is Interstellar, it is Marble, doing so much work, in particular with the Bridge of Zoolander as well, and then just giving the Period an edge right now that Bedward absolutely cannot match.
Yeah, and it's they can if they can just continue to do what they're doing right now, it's looking to be a very good match for this Period team at the moment. And I mean, there's not much more to say. Like you said, they're playing this ball competition perfectly.
Yeah, they're playing it so well. I just wanted some form of adaptation from Bedward. We all know about the definition of insanity. It is trying the same thing and expecting different results. And whilst you never really get to fight the same fight twice in Overwatch, especially in 6v6 because of the ultimates that are constantly online, there is constantly small changing factors. It really is a butterfly effect in that sense. You know, missing your pulse bomb, using your transcendence too early can lead to getting fluxed later on in the fight or the next fight, and you can really get punished for that. But in terms of that compositional matchup in the neutral fights, most importantly, is I think where anyone watching could really look and say that, hey, Bedward just, when there wasn't individual brilliance coming in from someone like Viral, they weren't up to scratch. And I know it's map 1, and I don't want to call it, I do not want to count the chickens before they hatch, because Control is a funny old game mode, isn't it? Joker's Ransom. But it's just, when I look at it, like as someone that has been around the game for a while and has casted as long as I have, you just notice little things. It's the things that keep happening. It is the consistencies within the outliers. It's the Zen going down every fight. It's that Sigma constantly having more shield, constantly having more ultimate charge, constantly being first to get on the angle that you really think over the course of a series, just it's so hard to come back from. And you know, the HT is always stronger than QK. Why not adapt? Watchpoint Gibraltar, you could try and stick with the ball Sigma composition if you want, but I think just swap off and go dive, play Sombra, see if you can mess with their backline a bit, because Marble was basically untouched this entire game.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. As it doesn't have to just be dive. You could also run the double bubble composition.
Yeah,
it has worked
like
pretty well, and it does look like that is what Bedward is going to be playing for the time being. Obviously, they have the advantage of the time bank, because they are on attack now, and so they might be able to swap off. But for the moment, it looks like Bedward is going to be opting for the double bubble, and no real change coming in from Period, because I mean, you don't fix what isn't broken.
No. So the main factor that I'm looking for in this matchup is how quickly can Paz generate the nano boost, how quickly can DMT generate his primal surge, because that is the main focus for both of them. Once they do that, they can snowball it, they can extend the fight, they can force resources, and from there it's all about lead. So much pressure on the Zarya and Ana of Bedward in this composition. If they don't come up clutch, if they don't come up big time and time again, and they consistently play make, then this composition from Bedward is going to fall apart basically just by itself on its own.
Yeah, definitely. As we've started off as trying to get some anti-nades going forward. They did get Skipper for the time being. Didn't really have any change in the fight because there was no real follow-up from the rest of Bedward. It's still good to see that they're looking to make plays with that anti-nade, the nade ability for the Ana. As right now, nothing's really doing. They're trying to get these counter dives and dives going through here, Chase.
Looks like they put the nano onto the Zarya. Actually, it's so good because Lee just runs down into Stella. Managed to hear that thanks to the voice line. The Tracers are 1v1ing in the back. Viral, I think, he's just getting the edge, but has to run into Osamu there on the Tracer as well. But I mean, Bedward Esports there, their Tracer Viral has been such a thorn in the side of the backline. Just wish someone could go with him. Zoolander falling now. Bedward Esports are getting the push, and it looks like they're going to win this fight in the long run.
Yeah, it definitely does seem to be that, as they're going to continue to push forward. They did have a swap here, as we'll talk about that after this fight goes forward, as Skipper taking down Stun Ape. This could be what they need to come back strong, looking to get back into this, get the cart back into the favor of the defending squad, as the attack visor is going to be out from Skipper, trying to keep it into the favor. They do take out DMT. Paz is going to trade it out. They've got Pokane out of this fight. That is the harassing Tracer gone. The Pulse Bomb comes out as well, and it does stick Zoolander. And still anyone's point, but it now does look like Bedward have gotten the upper hand in this fight as they're just finding all the picks they need. A late nano boost, maybe something you'd like for this next fight because it was already won.
You would absolutely. You do get to potentially look for some of these pickoffs as Lee gets to claim all the space in the world, but they were going to do that as a 400 HP DPS essentially anyway. Now they've got Graviton Surge to go. Not really anything to combo it, but when you know that Period T are a little bit off Transcendence, or you know they're going to be coming up on Transcendence, it's just all about the anti-nade. This is a really early grab though. I like it from Lee. If they can clean up, it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, well, Bingo did get that Transcendence on in the right time as they only did lose Skipper, but a huge anti-nade does come out from Paz there. They do fall down, however, to that minefield as Osumo is going to be the one to stop the cart for the moment with that big minefield.
Yeah, the minefield's going to be so good at mitigating, and when you look at the ultimates used by both sides, it's absolutely a win for Period. Now they get the Hold, Flux, and Rally, two of the, honestly, game-changing ultimates in this ball segment composition are still there. They are still in the back pockets of Interstellar and Zoolander and Bedward now. Both of their primary win conditions, that high charge Zarya and that nano boost onto the Winston, they're down. They are dry. They need to be generated back up again. So yes, 3 minutes left on the clock, but Period T should be able to drag this out probably until about a minute and a half before Bedward get a good chance of coming back and winning a fight.
As the rally is out, Primal Rage as well for the side of Bedward, but it's going to be Bingo starting things off, taking out the sniper in Stun Ape as the side of Period yet again winning this fight out off the back of another nice ultimate coming in from Interstellar. The Gravitic Flux finding massive value.
Yeah, absolutely. It just felt like an inevitability at that point. Interstellar's Flux was massive, came down. They all funneled into that room to get rid of the rallying Brigitte, and well, they walked straight into the Gravitic Flux from Interstellar. Nice play, nice execution, nice heads-up read. If anything, from the Sigma of Period, cannot sing his praises enough. They've been so good throughout these first two maps, and it's really been a core for this composition. Sigma, so steady, so needs to be reliable, and when you get that from your Sigma, it makes this comp so much easier to play.
Yeah, as there goes the Tracer duel coming into the favor of Period yet again as Viral out of this fight. Not going to be able to get into the backline, not going to be able to take out Bingo, who is so crucial to this composition as well as that Discord orb. DMT does take out Osumo. That is going to be the opening that the side of Bedward need to get through. They're not going to be able to have that disruption any longer. And a nice anti-nade yet again coming in from Paz.
Oh, he dies before Primal.
That is not what you'd like to see, as that is going to be the reason they lose this fight.
Yeah, it absolutely is going to be. DMT would have been able to extend it, would have been able to push them off the top of Shuttle there basically by himself thanks to that primal rage. And well, the Graviton Surge from Leap has to be held for another fight. They need to now build up energy. They should honestly wait till probably something like a Pulse Bomb can come online to be able to one-shot through, because Period now once again just they have the blue ticks in their favor. They have the hold, they have the advantage, they have poke, they have everything and more that they need. The only times where they're really falling is when Asama here on this Winston, on this ball, sorry, is getting a little bit too aggressive, is biting off more than they can chew with their little hamster teeth, and really they're sort of punishing themselves right now. Viral though, he's done it again. He found a crucial pick in a crucial fight.
Yeah, but the Graviton Surge does come out, but it is countered by Bingo, who had that Transcendence up and waiting for that ultimate to be popped. DMT using the Primal, trying to disrupt, but not going to be getting them off the top of the space shuttle, which you'd have liked to have seen as the Pulse Bomb coming out, taking out the main tank of DMT there, as they're going to come back strong as Period finding another pick. Bingo taking out their flex support rival, as the side of Bedward are looking to find something to do here. It's down to about 30 seconds left, but Skipper finds a 2K with the Pulse Bomb. Or sorry, not the Pulse Bomb, the Pulse Rifle with the
Helix rockets. Yeah, they just can't walk in, can they? Zoolander, Bingo, Interstellar, and Skipper, they're just playing as a 4. There is nothing that Bedward can do. They've never had the chance to push. They've never had the ultimate to do it. They've been out-cycled. They've been out-rotated. But this entire time, Interstellar has basically been on top of this shuttle for 4 minutes straight. They've not been able to do anything. Cocaine gets revenge from the previous fight, taking down Viral. And now Bedward Esports is going to have to be a monstrous nano boost from them if they want to hold this.
Oh, but they're not even going to be able to touch Jace. They had a lot of they had another nice anti-nade coming in from Paz that could have won them that fight, but they're just not able to capitalize on the openings that their Flux support is making for them.
No, absolutely not. I am left with that round feeling deflated like a 4-week-old balloon. Joker's Ransom. I am flat on my face. That was rough to watch, to be brutally honest. You hate to see it. Really, Bedward Esports, it just felt like they could never get anything going. I liked the composition that they were playing. They had angles into the fights, but it was just translating from pick A into pick B, from position A into position B, where they really fell apart. And that composition was so hard to deal with. And historically, just being able to sit and vibe on shuttle and poke down as you come through, well, 1 of 4 choke points, it's the bane of every team, and it has been the bane of every team throughout Overwatch's history. And Period though, doing a great job of finding gaps in the compositions. Bedward had finally managed to get stake in the payload. They'd gotten it forward, and then Potain just comes in, puts 1 clip into DMT, sticks him, recalls, gets out of there, and says, "Thank you, I'll claim your Winston's life, goodbye." And, I mean, no Winston, no win. They can't do anything. You take the win out of Winston, and it's just stone. And that's not a word. But nonetheless, this is going to have to be a monstrous hold from Bedward Esports. I think their comp fares a little bit better on defense, to be fair, because of this leverage point you can get with DMT and Leap here with the way they can rotate their own bubbles. But Period T, I mean, if they can find a flank angle, if they can take down Paz or Bagel first, then their composition will fall. It'll fall so quickly.
Well, no. Well, there's the first pick that you'd like to see coming in from Bedward, taking out Osumo. And a nice little shot coming in onto Skipper there. As that's gonna buy them more time, is Bedward, because they've got this advantage currently.
Yeah. The Widow here is such a risky game, I think, because you're playing Widowmaker into Ball Tracer, like just press tab. But if Stunape can keep doing that, then Bedward won't care, Stunape won't care. It's just such immense value need to be placed because the damage lacking much as Zarya has no energy. By going on that Widowmaker means you're playing for picks, you're not playing for long time, consistent damage. To be fair, I don't think you were, particularly in the neutral game against Period's composition anyway. But nonetheless, Viral goes for the stick as he tries to duel the Tracer off the flank, but he's got to do that here for beta Bedward Esports. Once they can duel these Tracers off the flank, they can get rid of Cocaine, and so they can keep doing that. This is really going well here for Bedward so far, even though they lose to DMT.
Yeah, that is a big pick that Period could have made as well, probably getting out Paz. But right now, it's looking good for the side of Bedward, but Cocaine is in the backline trying to take away the Widowmaker, and that's finally getting away the sightlines just as the wall hacks were up for Bedward. That's going to be a huge blow to their defense, but EMT coming out. Oh my goodness, Jace, we almost saw a Charlie Niner there as the side of Bedward almost losing it, but coming back strong. They drop down just at the nick, just in the nick of time, and win this fight in the end.
I think they are going to do it. Really nice recontest from them, actually. I thought for sure they were screwed. They were just playing the game with the payload. 0.04 meters. If someone else from the side of Period would have just gone and potentially just, sniffed the payload, breathed on it, then it would have gone through, it would have capped, because that movement speed from 1 to 2 is absolutely enough to take it down. But now they're playing such a close game. Yes, they have control of the high grounds above, but it's going to be a rough game. I mean, if Stunape can kill Potain, then that's one of the counters. I only have to deal with the Samu, and he gets poked out. So Stunape, by the way, playing so well against 2 hard counters for the Widowmaker that he's on here.
Yeah, as Skipper is going to fall to the Graviton Surge there. As Bedward are continuing to look very strong on this defense. Maybe it was a little bit of just nerves going in to try to continue to go through with this open division bracket. But they're looking a lot different than we saw on their attacking phase.
Absolutely. It's the change of composition can just breathe new life into a team. Absolutely. They looked so much more comfortable, so much more relaxed, and so much more focused and much more aggressive with everything. There's not enough adjectives I can use to describe it. I'm trying to think of the main one, but yet again, they're just so much more decisive. There we go. And speaking of decisive, Osamu gets caught being indecisive, rolling around in the backline looking for his target. And Viral picks him off again. I believe under a minute left on the clock. The Nano Boost Winston goes in. Great anti from Paz. And Stunape's going to pick off Zoolander to take him down as well. This fight, Joker Johnson, this was over before it started.
Yeah, and it was, I was saying, during their attacking phase, Paz was getting massive value with those anti-nades, but they weren't able to follow it up. And now on their defense, that's what they're doing. They're able to follow up on these massive anti-nades coming in from Paz, and it's working in kind for them.
Yeah, absolutely. 7 seconds left on the clock. What can Period do to flip this and potentially go for it? They're looking to cap onto Stunape, spawn camp onto Stunape. They've got 3 ultimates left in the bank. Do Period T, but as they all fall low, you have to use them before your HP bar runs to 0. That's going to be an early minefield. Pokane goes down to Stunape. Great shot, and I think it's 4v6. Bedred have got the full hold.
As Paz and Stunape are going to be the ones to get all the picks they need in this fight. As Libe is going to get that last one as the team kill gong sounds. And, well, that is going to be tying up this series 1-1 as, wow, what a stark difference we've seen from the side of Bedward.
That is absolutely a game of 2 halves. I did not expect that. From the way that Period played with their board composition, it just totally fell apart on this map. And the reason it fell apart was Bedward's great positional play, their great engaged timings, and their great understanding of what Period wanted to do. If you noticed, Osamu died so much more, and partly that is due to the map. Osamu has definitely better flank angles on a control map than they will on a payload map, because if it's a circle versus essentially one long corridor, there's less places for Osamu to go. They know where he's likely going to be at all times. But Viral Pass were once again so good. They were the key. Viral getting so many key picks on Pokane as well. Stunape actually deserves a lot of credit for hitting some big shots on Widowmaker, just instantly making it a 5v6. And I mean, historically, you know, I don't need to tell anyone about how important it is to be able to generate an opening pick as your Widowmaker. It's absolutely vital. It's something you should always be doing, trying to find the key target, and the value you get from it is just absolutely immense. But they stopped them at plan 1. Plan A for Period's plan 1, the very first step. You know, in terms of chess, it's like pawn to f6, I believe is the saying. Like, their very first move was to be able to get Osamu on the flank, get them in the backline, and Viral was poking them out, was checking them, and was essentially man-marking them like you would see in a traditional sport. They were forcing them off. They had them at basically like full distance of pulse rifle length at all times, constantly checking them, constantly poking them down, and Osamu couldn't play, and Period never got going because of it. Great full hold from Bedred, and let's see if they can carry it on, because we potentially do have a series on our hands here.
Yeah, and that's what every caster likes when we have
Absolutely.
a series on our hands. As I believe we're going to head to a short little break, give some people, the players, some time to think of what they need to do going into map number 3, as it is tied, so you're not going to want to miss the when we come back from break. Welcome back, everyone. Well, I hope you didn't miss us too much because, well, that was a little short break, but we're back and better than ever as we're going to head into map number 3, which is going to be a hybrid map. And, well, we do know what it's going to be, and that is going to be the German map. It is going to be Eichenwald. And, well, Jace, it can really work well for, the side of Bedward, who worked. Oh, sorry. I thought it was going to work well for Bedward because, well, you can run, especially on point 2, you can run that Winston composition, the double bubble, very well.
I think it's a take of perspective, and I think really anecdotally can very much infuse the mind, very much sway the opinion. When I look at it, I think it's a skill-based matchup, and I think it's something that you really just have to see be played out, and you have to see it at, I think, every level of the game, especially on a map like Eichenwald, because double bubble versus this ball Sigma composition, they're both relatively new. Obviously, Overwatch an ever-evolving game, but the Winston versus the Wrecking Ball, their styles are so fundamentally different. Both teams get the chance to be proactive and reactive when their key win conditions are up. Talking about Flux, Rally, Transcendence versus Graviton Surge, Nano Boost, and potentially an EMP if you throw in a Sombra there as well. There's a lot of room, most importantly, for misplays, for mistakes, and the ability to quickly punish someone that has mispositioned or has just essentially wasted a key cooldown, and that is so relevant. It's so prevalent on Eichenwald of all maps. If you waste your bubble, then the ball is just going to come flying up to the high ground at Mach 10, knock you off, and you're going to be dove. If you miss your shield bash, then the Winston is going to dive onto you, cleave, and then he'll receive nano and just cleave your Zen and completely take your Zen out of the game, either force Transcendence or just send him back to the spawn room. So the way that this map's built, I think it's going to rely on which team can snowball and which team can play the game of Ultimate Poker the best. And right now, I think, judging from last map, it was Bedward Esports, but judging by map 1, it was Period. So this completely up in the air. I think if Bedward can pull out something like a double shield to go against it, then they're looking really good. I think they're favored, but if they don't and they stick with something and they mirror or they go back to double bubble, I think Period have the advantage on this map. It is their pick after all.
Yeah, as do see another swap coming in. Marble is back in for Bingo there on the onto the flex support role. But it should be well. They were working very well on their first map, and hopefully they'll get that same level of consistency that we saw on Nepal.
Yeah, absolutely. Marble was definitely key to Period's win on Nepal. Them and Interstellar just working as a great duo to be able to provide so much resource and so much damage amplification, and just being able to finish off kills, provide that little bit of extra damage that they could not provide with their very mobile but low sustained DPS frontline, a high burst frontline, and a very sustained DPS backline for Period T. And once they were working in sync, they were doing so well. But I mean, same new map, same location, same destination for Zoolander and Skipper from the last map, and that destination is back to the spawn room. Bedward Esports rolling out on Pharmacy, and well, Skipper just couldn't kill them, and down and back to the spawn they go. This fight was over before it even started. Let's see if Period are going to try and make any swaps. Should expect Interstellar to go over to the D.Va. There we go. That's going to help try and nullify the bird in the skies, because that fight, Stun Ape, completely uncontested.
Yeah, and well, hopefully they can get that, as they do have some pretty good counters to it already. They had Skipper on the Cassidy. We'll see if they can get those shots in that they need to take that Pharmacy out of the sky. But right now, Asuma continuously getting antied, as that is some just great plays coming in from Paz, just to be able to shut down the disruption from Asumo. But Pokane is going to start things off yet again, taking out Viral. The Barrage does come out. It takes out Marble, but it would have probably liked more, but it does take out Interstellar's mech, and then they're going to follow it up in the end as well. The Deadeye comes out, takes out Stun Ape, but it is going to be a bit too late, it seems, for real anything to change into the favor of Period.
Yeah, unfortunately, just tempo difference in the way of Bedward Esports there. Their composition is always, I think, going to go first when they've got that barrage coming up that Stun8 built incredibly quickly. Did not even matter if they went in on the suicide mission to trade 1-for-1, because the res from the Mercy Bedward Esport Bagel is always going to come up in time. It's always going to save them. That's an early flush that comes in from Lieb. I believe it Whiff doesn't manage to find anyone. And on the flip side, Viral gets to stick onto Delander to bail his Sigma out. DMT falling though. This fight is 5v5. Losing Brig though, massive for Period as they try and gain against the respawn advantage that Bedward has.
Yeah, they didn't. They've already used their rally, but so we're gonna see a swap over to the Lucio to probably just get back to spawn here. As Marble finding picks in this fight, opening things up for the side of Period. It's just the last couple of people left, the supports and the Wrecking Ball left here. As it is gonna be finally Period opening things up and getting the full cap on point 1.
There we go. I think a little bit of a difference in the backline there in terms of composition, of course. Bagel and Paz got forced into that back room by the dive that came out. They could not cover the Pharah. The Pharah had to fly in there to try and peel the backline desperately, and Marble just put one in the stall. Down Pharah went, and when the Pharah goes, the Mercy drops soon after. Speaking of drops, Live goes down, I believe, going to take a reset so they don't get started, but potentially could have fallen to his own orbs as well. Stun8 though looking to go for Barrage in the corner just to keep them there. The Nano Boost, they don't find anyone off the Barrage, but this is going to be a very strong Pharah looking to dive onto the backline.
Yeah, I mean, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place there. Were the supports of Period, as you couldn't really go anywhere without finding damage, and well, they found damage and fell down in the end as the side of Bedward continue to hold on strong on this defense, as they're looking good.
Yeah, they are. It's important, and I said before coming into this map, didn't I, Joker's Ransom, it's about getting the snowball. It's about trying to go through and with that snowball, trying to accelerate it, and honestly just get it past this point where the payload is right now. It's such a pain to go through. You need stuff. You need individual playmaking to come through, most importantly. Stun8 definitely doing that to hold Period. Period can't really respond. Pokane can't find anything. Skipper goes on the flank, though. Talked about individual playmaking, but he gets silenced by Stun8. Puts a rocket straight into the back of the Cowboy, the Cassidy guys.
Yeah, it's looking good when you have a direct counter just going down to Stun8. Stun8 has just come alive after that defending phase, after just popping off on the Widowmaker. Now on the Pharah, finding so much value. The Hyperflex, so valuable in the current climate as we move into Overwatch 2, as just being able to play so many different heroes as the side of Bedward continue to hold on strong. The barrage coming out from Stun8 solidifies that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like we're watching Watchpoint Gibraltar all over again, doesn't it? We are seeing Bedward Esports once again just take control of the choke point and being able to pincer and collapse and provide huge amounts of burst damage onto the squishy members of Period, and it's not something that their composition is designed to deal with, and they're being punished for it. They do have a nice kickback potential in this fight, though, because of that Transcendence. That's going to help mitigate a lot of the sustained damage over time. They're going to be going against Zoolander's Rally as well. Once again, gives armor, makes them so much more beefy. Finally, is this the fight that Period can brute force their way through? This is a monstrous flush, though, from Lieb.
Yeah, it's going to be countered out by Marble's Transcendence, but a massive anti-nade yet again coming in from Paz. It is going to be good. They do fall down, however, as Pokane has 1 HP, finding everything they need. The true embodiment of 1 HP in a dream coming in for the side of Period.
Yeah, there was 1 HP in all skill, absolutely. Pokane managing to get the stick onto Paz to take him down and then win the Tracer 1v1. It took a lot of elbow grease, it took a lot of sweat and toil for Periods, but now they finally get it over the main point and they look to push this cart into point B with about 15 seconds left on the clock. But hey, considering how this point's done so far, I'm sure they'll take any time left available.
Yeah, they definitely need to, as Asumo finally getting Libe out of this fight, but almost a huge concussion blast coming in from Stun8. Almost took out 3 people off the side, but a railing saved them, and that might save their chances on this point because they're finding all the picks they need as they're going to be able to get to point 2. Not much time, however, to complete this entire map.
No, this is 1 minute 21. This is effectively 2 fights, I think, if you go quick. So why not full comp swap and try and counter them? You're going to an inside point. Rush is great here. That's exactly what Bedward do. They're going on the Ryan Sigma rush to try and go through Stun8. Just puts 1 into the head of Pokane. That's a swift bullet. Goodbye. Tracer back to spawn. You go. Skipper trades back though. I think DMT's pin onto Osamu might just be the end of the fight unless Period really want to hard invest here.
Yeah, it does not seem like they're going to stay. Keep it going as we're seeing full set of swaps coming in from both of these two teams now, opting over to the Reinhardt as Period are going to go full brawl here.
They are, but they're going to be missing at Lucio. They lose the ability to kite because they've got Rally. And honestly, I'm fine keeping it such an important ultimate, such a high win rate percentage ultimate, especially when used first, but Zoolander needs to live, needs to survive this high noon from the Cassidy if they want to get it off and they want to take advantage of it. And if they do, finally, there we go, the rally comes down and this is a good chance for Period T to try and push back DMT and leave him, force him and take this corner.
Zoolander is lucky to be alive, just being able to get out of the way before the Skull finishes off and takes them out. Ooh. As Viral finds a pick with the Riptire, that is huge. The Reinhardt gone is the crumble that are part of the cookie. You do not want to crumble early on in these fights. They do trade it out. Skipper taking out DMT is huge in the long run. No more shield to block besides the Sigma shield of Libe with the self-destruct, but Libe's down now. It's looking good for Period. They have the self-destruct to keep anyone away from the point as the Coalescence is there from Paz. Not going to find much value with it, however, as the Dragon Strike comes through, takes out DMT. This should be the end of the push as Period going to take it through the entire portions of Eichenwald.
Yeah, they're going to complete the map. I'm surprised, and most importantly, I'm impressed. Period T did a great job there. No, Lucio, no problem. They have Rally, which is way, way more valuable than just a blank Lucio without an ultimate. They definitely weren't going to get Sound Barrier in that time at all, and when you know that Bedford essentially are going to rotate into you anyway, just going with the Rally, it's not too bad, and it worked. They definitely played to their strengths. They were aware that they did not have a Lucio. They did not autopilot. They still had, honestly, a very squishy backline before that Brigitte managed to get full armor onto themselves and Marble, but it was the unmovable trio of Pokane, Osamu, and Interstellar that did such a great job for Period. And Bedroad Esports there, they had such a great hold on second, but they did not adapt in time. I think they did not play their composition correctly. They just needed to rush. As is in the name, rush by name, rush by nature. They just did not press the W key hard enough. You know that Marble didn't have Transcendence. Yes, you were going against the rallying Brigitte of Zoolander, but if you can kill them before, I mean, it sounds simple, right? Like, just kill them forehead, literally. But if you can kill Zoolander before they manage to get that armor stacked up, then they're significantly squishier. But Bedred Esports there, playing the defensive and reaction game very well, I think, Joker's Ransom. But when they need to be proactive, they need to be aggressive, they are falling down and they lose all 3 points on Eichenwald defense because of it.
Yeah, and that could bite them in the butt here if they do not have a as good as a push for as Period did. As Marble taking out DMT early on in this fight is not what you want when your Wrecking Ball goes in. You want to be able to the one to take out the Zenyatta, not fall to the Zen in the long run.
Nope, falling to that Zen, used over ultimate charge and Transcendence. So broken in this matchup in particular. Gonna do so much great work against the Flux. I think that's the thing you're really looking to hold it for. Pokane manages to recall and travel time on 1 HP to keep themselves nice and safe in the fight. Osamu, though, not so lucky. Wrecking Ball falls and Bedred Esports looks like they might be able to get an initial grip and first cap on this point.
Yeah, it does seem that way, and we've seen this coming out from Osamu. Getting a little bit over-aggressive, falling down as that's going to be Stun Ape, finding the Concussion Blast off the side of the map onto Marble. A nice plays coming in as well from DSD. It is still being traded out here. No one has found the upper hand at the moment as Interstellar finds two there, as Viral does find one with the Pulse Bomb. But it is just going to be so difficult for Viral to really win this out. They do take out the mech of Interstellar there, but it is going to go down to the Baby Diva form. But the respawns are coming back strong for Bedward.
I think honestly Viral did their job there. They managed to get the remech, they managed to stall it out, they managed to, as I said, most importantly, get Interstellar out of that mech. Now that's no defense matrix, that's nothing. That means that the Nano Barrage can come through for Stun Ape and absolutely does. Marble and Skipper just wiped off the face of the map Zoolander's rally, I think, is a little bit too late, and the bird in the sky finds 3 uncontested, but it was thanks to some great work from Viral in that post-fight Bedward Esports. Once again, they pressed tab, but they played the compositional advantage that they've got brilliantly. Great instant second nano barrage, and they're going to take point A because of it. Really good fight from Bedward.
Yeah, definitely, as Stun Ape finds so many picks in that fight, just off the back of the Nano and the Mercy as well, the Mercy pocket. Well, when you sing the praise, you usually get slapped in the face as Skipper takes a 1 taps, or 2 taps pretty much. Stun Ape does get rezzed back up here. So they're not out of the fight for too long, as they're going to come through strong as DMT drops the minefield and takes out Skipper, as this should be another just clean fight win for Bedward at the moment, unless Period have anything to say about it. But Cocaine's super low and gonna go down to DMT. The Granite Flux coming out from Libe forces out the Transcendence, and that's gonna be huge. They're gonna be able to push through on to the remaining people of Bedward, but not find any picks, however, as it's still looking good for the attacking squad.
Yeah, they still got the high ground control here. Madel falling though means that Stun Ape is going to be infinitely harder. It's going to be infinitely easier to take down. The Nano Boost goes on to Libe. It's going to be harder to kill. Breathing life, trying to breathe life and resuscitate the rest of his team, because they're falling quickly. They definitely need some surgical, some medical attention so far. Have they still got control of the high ground? I don't think they do. It's going to be Paz and Live on the angle, on the Dream flank. Stun Ape falling marble though, that's no Zenyatta. I think this fight's anyone's game right now. It's going to be the next ultimate that I think potentially can decide it, but Period T, the respawn's coming, as I said. Momentum once again shifting. Skipper falls, and Stun Ape once again, he's free to do as he wants. There is nothing that can really stop him now in the skies with that Fora and that Mercy pocket in tow. Yeah,
as Paz yet again just being the playmaker that Bedward needs, as Stun Ape does find Osuma out of this, does go down. The self-destruct finding Libe as well. The remake is going to be denied by Viral. Bomb comes out as well, not finding anything, and does Cocaine at the moment, but the rally now coming online for the side of Period should be the ultimate. They look to flip this defense back into the favor, as they need to do something. They need to do it quickly. Viral going down super low, gonna get out of there, but it's really stalled out for the moment. But no,
still
just as I say that, it's still gonna go out, as Skipper finds the pick on the Bagel, but they're gonna be countered out immediately after by the Granite Flux, as it's really anyone's game. They're still investing things here, Jace, as they're gonna be popping.
If you're Bedward Esports, I do not agree with this. You've drained basically 1 minute 30 already left on the clock. Please, please, please go back to spawn. Everything you've invested has gone out to dry. The well is well and truly empty. It is, I mean, it's drought season, isn't it, for Bedward Esports now? Look at the ultimates or the lack thereof that they have. They've only really got full spawn. They have to make some swaps over to try and play the compositional game. This is only benefiting the side of Period now. A minute 23 left on the clock. They're looking to secure themselves a second point. Full hold, and Period have played. They've engaged in this game of scrappy Overwatch. They've played it so well. Bedward though, second bite of the cherry. Skipper goes down. So once again, Bedward Esports find themselves a great entry into this fight. But let's see if they can try and clean it up. There we go. Looks like they might be able to do it this time.
Yeah, Interstellar does get a late pick on Stun Ape. That could be something, but Interstellar is going to go off the side of the map, kind of reset with their squad. There is going to be a last fight, and it is down to 50 seconds here. Yep. It's going to be really, I think, based on this Tracers, whoever wins this fight here. If Cocaine can get a stick with this Pulse Bomb, I think that's going to be it, but no, it's going to be Bagel starting things off, taking Osamu off the side of the map. The rally coming out from Zoolander as well, trying to turn it back, and they do. They get the Pulse Bomb kill on the Stun Ape, as Cocaine going wild on the Tracer yet again, finding 3 picks in this fight, as they're going to be able to hold on. 20 seconds remaining, Jace.
Yeah, absolutely huge. They lost Osamu early, and that potentially was disastrous. I think it was disastrous, but Zoolander and Cocaine, they're ready to steady the ship. And I mean, Cocaine not only steadied the ship, also sent Bedward Esports overboard, man down, man overboard, whatever you want to say. My nautical references are not the best, but I mean, the sinking ship right now absolutely is Bedward Esports. Viral goes down. That's the playmaker for them and has been throughout these 3 maps. Period T looks so comfortable on the payload. This bomb is going to zone. Bomb is going to kill 2. And Period T looks like they're going to take this full hold and wrap up this map, go 2-1 up in the series and secure themselves their map pick and the double Eichenwald.
Yeah, as they can't really do anything about it. DMT tried with the minefield, but Period is going to take this map and take a series lead 2-1 as we head into match point on map number 4.
It is. I believe this next map is going to be 2CP. God forbid, God help us, because I have no idea what to expect, and I really didn't like the game mode. But let's focus on this map for now. Let's focus on the joy and thoroughly entertaining match that we got there. That was so back and forth. And whilst Period took the map win yet again, it just feels like both of these teams are so momentum-based. If you know what I mean, both of them are they're so good once they get going, but once they get pulled off their horse, once they get sort of stopped in their tracks, once they have to disembark, once they have to slow down, whatever you want to say, they really, really struggle to get going again. There is a lack of compositional adjustments. There is a lack of game plan adjustments. You can play one comp in a variety of different ways because of, target focus, ultimates, rotations, etc. But both of these teams essentially doing the hard engage and the disengage really, really well, and they sort of a case of the unstoppable object versus the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, And I mean, essentially, whichever one is faltering first is essentially costing them the map. And Bedred Esports, much like Period could not break that high ground point, they could not break Shuttle on Watchpoint Gibraltar, Bedred Esports could not break the castle of Eichenwald. It stays strong, it was stalwart, and Period T, they win the map because of it.
Yeah, and we're continuing to see some amazing plays from both of these two. Specifically, the flex supports have just been outstanding.
So good, yeah.
For both of these two squads, is Marble, when they've been incredible, and then Paz, who just continuously makes plays for the side of Bedward. We're gonna have to go back to that. They need to be able to follow up on these massive anti-nades we keep seeing Paz landing.
Yeah, absolutely, they need to, because Paz has hit so many chunky ones here, in particular ones against the Transcendence, and I think if you can anti someone in a Transcendence, you really should win the fight because of it. That is a fight-winning play, and it's so huge for your momentum as well. Interestingly enough, you were pointing, I think very fairly, against the flex supports. I want to look at the tracers as well. Viral and Protein, It really has been the Viral show and the Protein show so far. Both of these tracers just littering the kill feed on the left side. That 1v1 has been going on for 3 maps straight. This is getting to anime final villain levels of, they're on the training arc right now. This is I'm not big enough of a weeb to be able to reference this in terms of Shodan anyway. But this is 2 Goliaths so far. It looks like they're really class. And this is not David, this is not Goliath, this is just 2 Goliaths, because they are smashing into each other, doing so much heavy lifting in the crucial fights as well. When both of these teams are down ultimates, they're down resources, they need someone to come up big. And most of the time, it's Marble, Paz, Protein, or Viral. So great work from both these flex supports, these tracers. The compositions they are playing are absolutely designed for one of them to pop off. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, when you play Double Bubble, you put so much onus, so much priority, you put so much reliability on your Zarya to pop off. And when you play this board composition, you put so much work, so much reliability into your Tracer and Zenyatta as well. And honestly, both times, all 3 maps, I would say that the carry points for both of these teams are delivering. It's just that one is delivering a little bit more than the other, and that's ultimately been the piece. I cannot break both of these 2 teams apart, as now we're going to be going over to 2CP, not quite sure about the map pick, as it is going to be Temple of Anubis. I hate this map so much.
Really?
I'll rant about Temple of Anubis and 2CP in general, but going into this map, Joker's Ransom, what do you think? Hero picks, key matchups, what do you think is going to be the ultimate difference maker? Do we get a map 5 or a Period going to run out 3-1 winners? What do you think?
Well, I really like one composition on Temple of Anubis, and it works very well. The double shield with Junkrat. It's just because with the Junkrat and the Ashe, you can just take away all the entry points. You get with the Junkrat trap, as well as just the spam coming in from the Junkrat in general, and then the Ashe Dynamite. You can light up those choke points and continue to go forward. But I mean, we're not going to see that, are we? We're going to see just what we've been seeing throughout the series in general. We might be seeing the first look of Sombra here.
We might get our first look at Sombra, actually. This potentially could be the final map, as I said, if Bedward Esports go well and Bedward Esports manage to fall down. This Sombra pick is potentially going to be... as I said, like you place so much onus in it. Viral needs to hyper accelerate towards that EMP. That is the only reason that you pick Sombra in this composition, apart from hacking the ball. Obviously, if you can hack the ball, that's going to be a free kill. And Osama has been caught far too many times than any ball should in this series, I think, personally. So Viral potentially leaning into that, being able to hack a ball and get themselves a juicy bit of EMP charge. Let's see if they manage to spot the hamster as they go for the opening translocator. They don't manage to quite stick it, but Viral going to get some crucial scouting information. Let's see how Bedward Esports manage to pull out their first dive, because both supports so far they've been spotted. They are the primary targets in particular. If they can fall Marble, the Problem, the Menace, then Bedward Esports are in a great chance for this first fight.
Well, we did see DMT going up there, but they're going to be falling back. Period is going to be trying to keep their supports alive. It is protect the president in its entirety here for the side of Period. They need to keep their supports aligned, and they're doing it so for currently. But just as I say that, DMT rolls in, takes out Zoolander. They do lose their main tank, however, for the time being.
Great slam.
As that is going to be a huge slam indeed, locking everyone up.
Paz
is yet again popping off for the side of Bedward, as they're going to be able to win this fight out off the back of that Zenyatta play.
Wow, the way that they spaced that Bedward Esports, so good. Great composure as well. It was so easy for Paz, Libe and Viral there, and Stunape was actually on the flank as well, pincering. It was so easy for them to panic and just say, okay, we've been slammed, disengaged from the hamster. The Osama is massive, let's just fall over, let's just try and play this all out. But the minute Paz hits that headshot onto Poké, the fight instantly becomes winnable. And Bedward Esports, they were playing for it anyway. And, well, they managed to get the cap now, 5 minutes 28, and they've got an EMP basically ready to go as well. Ultimates so far on the side of Bedward Esports, they're looking really, really strong in terms of ultimate advantage, absolutely in their favor. They look to try and take a very, very difficult point B to cap in Temple of Anubis B.
Saw the Transcendence light going
on.
Rock! That is huge. That is huge.
Wow.
They're not going to be able to build up to EMP this fight. They are going to, should be Period winning this out, but no, they're still finding picks as Bedward. But no,
no.
2CP is just so in the favor of the defending squad on the second point that you just have to wipe them. And now going into this fight, you have to get Marble with this EMP.
You absolutely do. The reason that I was so sort of excited and so sort of reactive to that rock from Interstellar and Viral falling, because now you buy yourself that all-important fight. Look at the ultimates now that Period have online. They did not have basically any of these before. That was Bedward's golden opportunity to take the ultimates and snowball. Yes, it's 5v5 ultimates, but last fight it was 2 versus 0, and one of them was an EMP from Viral. There we go. This is the butterfly effect in action. Poking gets a stick onto Paz. That's no Transcendence, not that they had it anyway. That's no rally that can come out onto the Zen to keep them nice and healthy, to be able to rotate onto the point, and off the back of killing the Sombra early in that fight, and a great stick from Pokane, Period have stabilized, and let's see how long they can go against this EMP from Viral.
Yeah, Viral is currently scouting out, but Interstellar has to know they're there. As we saw them just flopping in some the orbs, trying to catch them out of their cloak as they're going to come in. There comes the minefield. That is a nice flash indeed. Not going to be able to get the slam that you would have liked to. As here comes a Skipper with a nice tap on to stun Ape. That's going to be a huge play. And it does not look like they're going to invest much more. They're going to invest the EMP, however. They do catch Marble. They take them out. That is still could be the huge thing. They're using the Gravitic Flux as well. They take they lost Pokémon, as this should be enough to at least get a capture percentage on the board. With 2CP being as it is, they're going to come back here. Paz is not going to have the Transcendence to stabilize this fight, as they're going to come back strong. As I say every time I cast 2CP, with the nature of 2CP just being in so much the favor of the defending squad, you have to wipe them, and Bedward just got 2CP'd. Yep,
essentially that was a gargantuous flip from Viral. Don't think they will be kicking themselves for that EMP. They're 40% away to another one anyway, but Bedward Esports go with such a high risk, high reward play, and they are rewarded for it genuinely. It's just that, I mean, Paz fell down, did not have the Transcendence, so Interstellar just walked out of spawn, put 3 of them in the Flux, and then 3 of them fall in a matter of time. This Pulse Bomb from Pokane is going to go wide this time, does not manage to find it. So 1 for 2 there so far, as we've seen him on this map. Redbird Esports, though, they've actually swapped over to a rush-based composition to go against the Wrecking Ball. So kind of like a pseudo 6-man with Viral, trying to really play around that EMP, and most importantly, give themselves more sustain on the composition. I think they've learned from being able to from throwing that fight away, really, on this last point here with the EMP going wide.
Well, Viral is going to have this EMP online, and taking out Pokane is going to be huge.
Okay.
They have to get Marble yet again because they have this Transcendence yet again. Here it comes out line, but no, they're not going to catch the Zenyatta, as they're going to be able to stabilize off the back of that. They're going to come through with the Coalescence of Paz to try to turn it back. What a nice flash, killing Pokane out of this. This should be Bedward being able to capture it all. They're not going to be able to. They've gotten every pick they need to not get too CP'd, as Bedward take the second point with 1:34 on the clock.
There we go. They get the second bite of the cherry. They improvise, they adapt, and they overcome Bear Grylls style, because what were they lacking after that first EMP? They were lacking sustain on the objective to deal with the re-engage. They swapped over to the composition that was more sustainable. Yes, in theory, in the neutral fight, it is weaker. The rush composition is weaker against the Wrecking Ball composition, but on this map, it's so enclosed, it's so tight, it's so objective-faced. You are fighting at basically perfect melee range for the Reinhardt pretty much most of the time anyway, especially when Beidou can go over to the Lucio and speed that Reinhardt in. I thought for sure DMT had potentially inted, to be honest. Joker's Ransom, like, he saw the Reinhardt charge onto Marble to take that Zenyatta far and away from the rest of their team. But what that allowed was that allowed Bedward to get onto the point without having to deal with that Transcendence itself. So the fact that DMT lives mean they can essentially just walk back to their healers. He's 0 to 100 in basically 3 seconds. He's full HP because 2 supports and the amount of sustain in this game now is just ridiculous. And Bedward Esports, I'm going to say it's a coin flip. I'm going to say they go all in and put it all on black, poker style, casino style, but I mean, their money absolutely comes up. They get themselves 134 left on the time bank, and now they're going to go over to a bunker composition, a very good bunker composition. Osama here, he's going to have a rough time because Stunape, DMT, and Bagel are not big fans of the hamster. They are hamster haters, let me say.
Yeah, I rules on that the Cassidy. It would just start.
It's unplayable.
It'd be unplayable for Osama, who has not really seen a different look on this this tank role throughout this series. And maybe if they can force that change, then it could be the sign of them getting to Period and maybe changing things in the favor of Bedward. But right now, they're waiting to see how things go. And a nice boop coming in, taking a DMT off the side of the map. But they're not going to be able to get the kill thanks to that immortality field coming in from Paz. As still looking good, however, for Period, as they've taken out Bagel. They're going to be able to try to
Marble's alive.
They are. Marble does go down late on, but they still is Period finding the value and the advantage in this fight. They continue to just push forward. They've got the amp matrix out from Paz. As a nice eat comes in from Libe, that's going to flip the fight maybe into the favor of Bedward. It is.
Oh, it gets the crunch match as well onto Skipper to take them down. I don't want to actually I don't want to be that guy, but they ran into a tight room against a Brigitte, against an Orisa. Both teams, yes, they were both jostling through the amplification matrices that came out from Zoolander and Paz, but the composition in the tight room, in the brawl phase, in that brawl sort of matchup absolutely favors Bedward Esports, and Period get punished for not being able to space correctly. Viral now taking down Interstellar, that's no Sigma, that leaves Marble and Zoolander very exposed, and I think Period recognize that. They're just going to disengage as Osamu gets ready to go up. This is going to be a Diva Bomb with the hold that comes in, only forces Lamp, but Osamu now once again has to disengage, and this is more time being burned off the pot for Period.
Oh, as they're going to be picking up Beagle there as Osamu. They're going to run away from them, however. Which is going to be good. They're not going to be able to have that the turret any longer online, as Period should be able to win this out. A nice rock taking out Paz. And they're going to be able to clean this fight up. It is just Viral really being able to touch, but for how long is the real question, and probably not long at all, because, well, they're going to get taken out by a headshot by Skipper.
Oof. Yeah, Skipper finds two really key shots there. That one to get the stagger onto Viral and potentially deny the Tracer the ability to stage quite far up and get the easy and the early angle onto his supports, but also managing to tag down Stunape in that fight on the Torbjorn. Just put one in the body. It wasn't a headshot, wasn't anything fancy, but taking down that Torbjorn meant that the turret could go down, and the Molten Core did not come down as well. Osamu just rolled through past, flattens him. Nice whip shot, but they land straight onto Stunape. Oh no, Bagel. Oh no. Walks away from DM team, lands him perfectly in the awaiting slam, and Stunape gets one tap because of it.
Yeah, as they're going to be able to look to continue to get some progress on here. Viral goes down to some nice headshots yet again from Marble, who has been incredible on this flex support role yet again for the side of Period, as this should be the side of Period being able to open up, but Viral taking out Marble is going to be huge. As the respawns come back, that could be the thing that they needed to flip this fight into the favor of the defenders. As Stunape comes back, finds two with the Cassidy, and that is going to be it. It looks like Period, yet another team, yet again, getting 2CP'd on 2CP.
Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, Interstelling's fallen early, and Osamu going for that aggressive slam means that Period teams come, well, they're a house of cards, and Bedred Esports give them a steady gust of wind, and absolutely down they collapse. Viral collapsing late in the fight as well, thanks to a nice little one-click from Protein, getting the headshot there to crit the Doomfist and send him back to the spawn room. Viral potentially has the chance to swap, not sure. Actually, I don't mind the Doom against Zoolander and Marble. Historically very, very good against Bapt and Zen in general, but, I mean, might not even get the chance to appreciate and really use that advantage as Period are just walking on the point.
Yeah, they are, as they're not going to have that immortality field any longer thanks to Libe's self-destruct. Not going to find really much value other than that, but they're going to get Flux now coming out from Period, trying to flip this fight into their favor, but they need to get more picks, and they need to get them more quickly. They've taken out Viral, and that could be all they need here now, as now it's all blue in this kill feed. They're trying to stay out for as much as time as they possibly can, but Bagel goes down, and, well, that was the last person on point, and, well, Period take it.
Period do take it, and honestly for them, great fight. As we've said, basically throughout this entire map, Period have just been getting 2CP or Mega Load. Bedred Esports were getting 2CP or Mega Load, but once that sustain could come in, and the only way it came through instantly was thanks to Marvel's Transcendence. Once that resource was online, once that was available, once it was used, I would say pretty optimally, if not perfectly, for the way that fight played out. Period T were unmovable on the objective. They did not have to deal with the respawns because there was nothing that Bedred would do to kill them. They could not dislodge them. They couldn't even force anything out from them. Walking away with, I think, like 39 seconds, I believe that is. No, like 49 seconds, I believe. It's not much, but in 2CP, that's at least a fight, I think, particularly because of how close the respawns are on the attacking side. But most importantly, I think 1 minute 34 left on the clock. Let's look at this Bedred Esports composition that they're going to be rolling out on. They'll probably get to EMP. They might get to Rally. They probably are going to get to Transcendence. And the Gravitic Flux is potentially questionable. So Bedred Esports here, they've rolled out on a great composition. I think one that actually beats Period T's, but it beats them with ultimates. And I'm not quite sure, Joker's Ransom, if their ultimates are going to get online in time. They are absolutely racing against the clock right now. They need to go quick.
Yeah, and we did see Viral build up EMPs very quickly, and that is going to be that win condition really for this Bedred squad at the moment. But they are countered out, and they're known where they are, as Skipper live was in this some storm arrows taking out Stunape here. As Viral needs to get in the back, they need to be able to start hacking people up. They need to get this. No, they're just going to be headshotted into oblivion there by Skipper. As this is huge plays coming in for Period with their Hanzo.
Yeah, it's a disastrous first fight for Bedred Esports. It really is. Cannot stress that enough. Skipper once again on the RNG character, taking down Paz. Just put the storm arrows basically in the choke point, and Cocaine was unlucky enough to blink straight into them, take them down in basically 0 seconds flat. Now pass going down. Once again, the Zenyatta cannot rotate as safely as they would have liked to because Bedward Esports, this is basically final fight for them. They have to go. But they also need to take their time as well. They really need to be decisive here. This is such a difficult fight for them. Period T, they know that they have the ult advantage if it goes late because, I mean, they've won a fight. Bedward have not. Now the Tracer getting forward off as well. But Skipper going down. That's the danger man for that last fight. DMT getting the perfect pick. Let's see if they can open it. Pokane's trade, though, is massive for the fight for Period here.
Yeah, and Viral going down as well, trying to build up that EMP for this this long fight here. As it does look like Period are going to be able to open things up, keep this defense holding strong. Marble just staying alive and finding the damage that they need as they're going to pop the minefield. On the point is DMT. Paz is going to take out Interstellar, which is huge, as the side of Bedward are coming back here. They found 2, they found 3, and they found 1 tick on the clock. This is going to be, oh my goodness. Wow. Bedward, somehow, some way.
They were not ready to go home. They were not ready to die just yet. Bedward Esports here for beta, well and truly here for the long run. In this chase, it was last fight territory. They needed a prayer, they needed to be quick, and that's the most decisive I think this team has been all series. And now 16 seconds left, you only have rally, really. You just have to send it, you have to go aggressive. But it worked for them in the last fight. Let's see if it works for them here. Live is so close, so if they fall, it's going to be disastrous for Bedward Esports. Skipper finding pads though, so Bedward Esports really down their Lucio as they try and get in and crash against the wave of 2 CP respawns.
Yeah, as they're going to come in now here. They've got everything they need to win this fight out. Interstellar taking out DMT with the Gravitic Flux. It's just the stragglers there still left for Bedward, as the rest of Period are just going to collapse on them. Marble, yet again, finding multiple picks in the fight, as Period hold strong on the second point. But that might be, we might be seeing a draw here. Jeez.
I think Draw Nubis is potentially on the cards. I would hate it because I think neither of these teams really deserve to lose this map, but I mean, it might be enough though. I think honestly, looking at the timeline that Bedward Esports have, you know, there was no Cinderella run to be able to complete the full map. There was no miracle run, but even just getting point A in itself was, well, borderline miraculous. They were absolutely down and out in that fight until, well, Bagel and Viral came back on the Lucio Doomfist in tow and just managed to pop 2 from the side of Period in basically the blink of an eye, and it swung the fight. The 2 CP respawns coming in, the run back so much shorter that they managed to make do and they managed to work it out. Now for Period though, they've got the same problem. This is actually a lot of pressure now that they know that they need to cap this objective. They need to, at the very least, capture point A, and in 2 minutes, that's, well, it's definitely easier said than done.
It definitely is. It definitely is indeed. But with the way Skipper was playing on the point on their defense, it could be very good for the side of Period. They need to continuously find that value with that Hanzo, and we could be seeing the end of the series.
There we do. They have so much more poke than Bedward Esports do right now, and if they can secure this high ground that Interstellar staring at and throwing orbs at, then they can potentially just play the long game and poke from there. They absolutely win the war of attrition, but unfortunately, when you're playing the long game, you are also draining time off the clock. But speaking of draining time off the clock, DMT is also draining over ult charge and life force as he goes down. They get the trade onto a Samu, but I think now it gets back into a poke tour, it gets back into a fight for space. This is only going to benefit Period with respawns and with composition. They have the advantage right now as they look to try and cap point A.
Yeah, as they're taking their sweet time here as Period. They were waiting to get Osamu back in this fight as the Tracer duel coming out here for the moment. But Skipper is going to be the one to find the first pick in this fight, and that's going to open things up for Period. They've got everything they need. The res did come back onto Stun 8, but there's only a couple of people left on the board here as the Wrecking Ball Osamu does get slept up there, but it's going to be very difficult for them to even touch this point at the moment. It's going to have to be someone, and it's going to have to be quickly. But as DMT does come back and they've taken out Skipper, DMT is super low for the time being. But the bad side of Bedward are going to be able to hold on here as the respawns come back for them in the right time.
It's so close. I think DMT getting the kick there onto Skipper, managing to find him and pick him off early was potentially game saving. It's potentially map 5 inducing, because Skipper has been red hot on the Hanzo ever since they swapped over, and that has definitely been the danger man for Period. This map, Cocaine, Interstellar, and Marble have been a little bit more quiet, but as I say that, they've got all their ultimates ready to go to try and make a play. This is going to be a last fight for them. They need to not use too many.
Goodness.
Cocaine comes up in the clutch. Great stick onto the Ash Mercy combo. They go down 4v6. Let's see if they can cap in time.
Yeah, as they're going to be able to come back. DMT did pop the minefield, which is going to be huge. It's going to be able to stop a lot of the progress that Period could make onto the point here. Okay. As they find everything they need. It's just the Lucio left. And now going into this, does Period have enough of staying power to go on and get this capture is the real question. They take out Stun Ape early on, the minefield dropping down as well. This could be it. The Pulse Bomb doesn't find any value that you would have liked to here, Jace. The Bob coming out, the self-destruct is there. Something needs to give for the side of Bedward if they want to continue on, as they find out Zoolander, which is a huge pick indeed. Interstellar with a Critic Flux coming out online. This could be it. They just need to find more picks, and they need to find it quickly. Viral back on the Doomfist. The Dragon Strike out as well. Something needs to give, and it needs to give quickly for either of these two teams if they want to have a winner. As Zoolander finds Viral after the swap over to the Lucio. As the Transcendence comes out from Marble, they finding picks, and I think they might have done it here, Jace. They need to get more picks, and they need to get it quickly here. But DMT takes out Skipper. Something needs to give. DMT with 2 picks. As Interstellar takes them out. They're still finding value on both of these, but they need more picks, and they need it quickly if Period wants any chance to win this out.
Can they kill
They're going to try to... They need to take out that Mercy. That Moira there of Pause, but no, they're going to get all healed up as the Lucio gets beat. That's huge for Bedward. The Minefield's coming out. Something is going to give it. It is going to be Bedward finding the value, finding the hold here, as they're going to be finding everything they need. DMT and Viral are going to be able to win to save the point, and the draw comes in.
It was, I thought Period had actually done it. It was admittedly shaky. I thought Period had done it, but like a house of cards on top of a Jenga stack, it was always waiting to fall. It was always bound to happen, wasn't it? This Flux from Interstellar that we see here as play the game, just chunky. Great onto both times, managed to pick off DMT as well. But that final fight, Period T had numbers over on the objective. They were always up. They had 3 on the point at every time. Those respawns for Bedward Esports could not have gotten any longer. And yet, but still, DMT picks away at them one by one, and divided you full. Absolutely strength in numbers, 100% there. And they were lacking numbers towards the end. It allowed Viral to come over and buy space, by time with the Doomfist. But DMT there, the primary engage for that comp, but was the final dagger in the side of Period there to put their hopes of winning the series right here, right now to bed. Bedward Esports, now they lost the last map still, so they're going to get picked over on Control. This is going to be map 5, but we could potentially be in for a map 6. Who knows? This series has been crazy so far. As I said, this had potential to be one of the best open division games, and it absolutely is going that way. It's so close, it's so back and forward. My voice is going to be absolutely dead by the end of it, but I'm all here for it. I'm so excited for the next map, because this could be... I don't know. I'm still processing that draw, to be honest. My brain is fried.
Well, we're going to have time to process that map. We're going to head to a short little break before map number 5. Do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss the conclusion of this series. Welcome back, everyone. It is time for map number 5, and well, it's going to be a control point here, and we're going to see if Period can take the series, or is Bedward going to continue on and push it to a map number 6?
Absolutely. We've got a cracking series on our hands, don't we, Judges Ransom? If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, this is map 5 after we've had a 20-minute draw on Temple of Anubis, which, to be fair, is standard stuff at this point, actually. I cannot wait to see the death of 2CP. God, I hate that game mode. But the map itself, though, was honestly so entertaining. It was back and forward. It was everything that the casual fan would enjoy about Overwatch. It was fast-paced, it was trades back and forward, but in terms of the competitive aspect, that map is essentially nullified. Bedward Esports now, they get their pick of a control map. We're going to find out what it is in a second. And I just want to sort of point to the progression of this series, because map 1 was really dominant for Period. Then Bedward Esports go over to Watchpoint Gibraltar. They play double bubble, and they look so well controlled. Then we go to Temple of Anubis, and then a draw happens. And obviously the first map was Oasis, which was won very comfortably. Sorry, it was Nepal, won very comfortably by Period. Period go over to Eichenwald after Watchpoint, and then they essentially do the same. Bedward Esports not able to get off the ground, not able to get themselves running back into action, and could not break the second point hold on the defense that Period put up to them. And now as we go over to Lijiang Tower, we could potentially be ending the series or going to another control map and a map 6. What do you think, Judges Ransom? As this series has progressed, now who do you think are going to be the key players for either side, and what are you predicting for this map?
I mean, honestly, it has to be the people we keep highlighting throughout this series. It's got to be the 2 Tracer players for both of these 2 squads, or the 2 flex supports, because those are the people that keep making these plays and continuously finding value. We did see Skipper finally hitting their stride on Temple of Anubis with that Hanzo, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Hanzo being really picked on Lijiang Tower because of the nature of the
don't think so.
The comps that we normally see on Lijiang Tower, with Symmetra being meta in Overwatch 1. It's just really up to what these teams feel comfortable running, because we could still see the ball comps, but we could also really just see brawl come out from both of these 2 teams as well.
Yeah. The good news is that Aquamarine, the Junkrat player, recently described it as a legacy hero as he played on Overwatch 2 for the first time, but this is the legacy game, so Junkrat is, well, a menace on this map. Not this point in particular, but on Control Center and potentially on Night Market into the right comp. Very good. So I wonder if Skipper has that in their back pocket if they can play the Hanzo. Time will tell. Time will see. Feels like every flex DPS can play Junkrat these days, as they should. So looks like Bedward Esports and Period are going to be opting into variations of what we call the 6-man rush. Osamu being on the ball is going to be worse into the Sombra Tracer that Bedward Esports go out, but the Reaper in the neutral fight is going to be important. If Skipper falls early, then Bedward Esports are going to walk over, but if not, he's just going to completely dominate. It is all about this Reaper right now.
It definitely is. It definitely is indeed. As well, Skipper is off the side of the map, as Bagel finding a nice boop, as Osamu almost finding a huge one as well. But the side of Bedward are going to be the ones finding the value currently in this fight, and are going to be able to get the first capture percentage on the board.
Yeah, in case there are people that aren't quite familiar at 6-man and particularly haven't played at the higher level, the reason that the Reaper is so important is because essentially he's the one that does the damage in your composition. You rely on him to cleave over and essentially run over the enemy tanks, particularly in the mirror, but Bagel just being able to pick him off with a single group is so massive, because it allows Stunape and Viral to really go for the aggressive pressure onto Osamu, and he fell basically right after. Now they've got the point, they've got the cap, Paz gets Coalescence first, and as long as they don't mess it up, as I say that, they have messed it up. This is Period's fight to win.
Yeah, as they come in strong here off the back, some nice plays. As Pokane building up to that EMP as well. Both of the Sombras have these EMPs to come into this next fight here, Jason. It is going to be the battle of who can get the better one.
It definitely is. I think Bedred Esports, honestly, to go back to that last fight quickly, they jumped the gun a little bit too much. They had Coalescence advantage. They should know they've had Coalescence advantage because they won the first fight. They just needed to wait, hold their horses a little bit, and then go with that Coalescence and run into them with that HP advantage. That's a hack onto the Mega Pack to try and keep them out of White Room. The EMP comes in first, but Pokane gets one shot.
Yeah, Pokane gets taken down by Libe there, and there's the response coming in from Viral with a massive EMP of their own. And this should be all they need for the side of Bedward to come back in and get the point back into their favor before, or just after Period overtake them in capture percentage.
Yeah, massive EMP though. They'll feel that one all the way back in Dorado. That EMP, that was monstrous and Viral. Played so well to Bedred Esports, had to capitalize. They had lost someone, I believe, and well, they were just walking through White Room. The wrecking ball, the minefield had forced them out of White into that little archway in between Point and White Room, as we see DMT sort of staging here, this little area. And well, Viral just popped out of Invis, EMP'd them all, and they dropped like a bag of feathers. Absolutely, they went down. DMT's Primal managed to not get hacked, managed to get it off, but the sound barrier is going to keep the rest of Period nice and healthy. DMT has to jump out as well. He's going to be feeding over more all-important EMP ult charge if he stays in for long.
Yeah, as Asumo going down here in this fight, as that is not going to be what you'll want to see. Viral having another EMP online, yes indeed. If they're going to find something, they take out Libe's mech, but they're going to be able to get it back thanks to the self-destruct. It's going to be really interesting to see how this changes as Paz taking out Marble, but Skipper comes through with 3. My favorite character is the Reaper guy. He's very powerful. Honestly, one of the best heroes in the game. Comes equipped with these 2 revolvers and only takes about 3 or 4 shots to execute a kill. So it comes really in handy, especially when you come in from the side, Jace.
That's based. That's the full copy pasta. I'll give you credit for that one. That is very well executed. Good job. Now Period have got to execute themselves, and they've got an EMP to do it. The Reaper guy is absolutely my favorite character. It's not quite Reaper Fridays, but it's Reaper Friday somewhere in the world, and that's good enough for me. DMT managed to find Zoolander, but the Coalescence from Marble is going to keep this fight well and truly winnable for Period, especially if they can keep Skipper up. Oh, never mind.
They aren't going to be able to keep Skipper up thanks to Stun Ape on this Tracer, and the side of Bedward come back strong after that huge ultimate coming in from Period, as they are going to be swapping over Skipper off of the Reaper guy onto Tracer now, as the side of Bedward are going to come in, get the cap back into their favor here. It is to this last fight territory, as Bagel is down out of this fight, which is going to be huge. They don't have that that sound barrier any longer, as they're going to be able to come in here as Osomo goes off the side of the map, as Viral trying to build up to another EMP to just win this fight in general off the back of it. The self-destruct comes out, not finding anything coming in, but the stick is there. Not going to find the pick, finally taking Interstellar out of this mech. But it's going to be whoever can get this EMP and who can get a bigger one here. Pokane has one online now, as they're going to come back looking for something. Here it comes. They do only get both of the tanks. DMT, however, is finding picks while they're hacked.
Oh, they got
that
the
is
point.
going to be the side of Bedward taking it.
No, they don't.
As that could have been huge coming in, but Bedward takes round number 1.
Bedward do take it, Period. I think they weren't able to play around the Reaper. Skipper there looking more like a Rico or a Kowalski there, in perfect honesty. It's so important that you play around the Reaper, that you give the Reaper speed boost, that you DM them and you cover them. The only time they did it was with that Death Blossom, and well, he killed 3, but apart from that fight, nothing radio silence from that Reaper. I'm glad they swapped off, but it was too little, too late. You only have 3 or 4 fights really on control to really assert yourself, and you have to be so decisive with it. But unfortunately their Periods just get a little bit staggered. They panic a little bit. They do not make the adjustment in time, and well, they fall because of it. This is going to be basically mirror compositions. Interstellar on the Sigma being the difference here in terms of the Poke War, and that shield going to be a little bit better against the spam that can come in, but not good against the Sim, because she can charge the full being off it, which Stun Ape well and truly will enjoy, being basically full charge already. As Bedred Esports in this first initial jostle, they've managed to get control of White and of the point.
Yeah, like you were saying, the double shield is going to be so good for Stun Ape on the Symmetra as they're going to come in here. Poking does come back. They take out DMT, but Bagel is going to get Skipper off the side of the map. They're still trying to win this fight out. Poking finding Stun Ape out of this, which is going to be huge. They're going to be able to come back on the back of it as Poking continuously getting value with the Symmetra as they're going to come in here looking for something to do, looking for a pick off the back yet again, maybe from Poking, as the Ant Matrix is now out from Marble, looking to get some good value, more damage, more healing, as both of them as this is still looking good for the side of Period. They're going to come back here strong after a long fight.
This was a really long fight, but I think, honestly, it's a good fight for Period. They have now their wealth of ultimates ready to go, only invested the Amplification Matrix, and once we saw Bedred Esports, honestly, bite off more than they could chew once they'd fallen, and once Period got to walk in, we saw the strength of the Sigma from Interstellar, because Poking was basically untouched, able to kill the entire team, and well, just having that shield means your Symmetra is so much more unkillable, and absolutely they are the win condition in this composition. Potain once again finds a pick of the turret this time. House goes down, that's no lamp, that's no nothing, and well, no sustain, no win. Bedred Esports, once again, they just fall over.
Yeah, as Poking continuously finds massive value with the Symmetra. Zoolander getting a late pick onto Libe, which is going to stall them out for a bit longer than you would have liked to. It's going to get them over the capture percentage of Bedward here, and well, it's going to be an interesting fight nonetheless to see how they're going to come back into this brawl.
We shall see. There is Riptide ready to go from Viral. There we go. It's pulled. Let's see where it is. I can't actually quite spot it, but it finds two. Both DPS gone. Huge fire.
Both DPS gone. No more huge frontline damage coming in from Period. As Stun Ape finding out Zoolander. This should be Bedward coming back in strong after a nice capture percentage coming in for the side of Period.
There we go. That was just one fight ultimate win. We saw Marble do it with the window sling. That was a great sling from him. And now Viral just kills two people before Marble can get down the all-important immortality field. Both DPS popped, no damage. Well, you're just not going to win a fight once both your DPS go down, especially in this composition in this map as well. This is going to be a window coming out from Paz first this time to just buy all-important, time for Bedred Esports as they look to potentially snowball into something like a tire again or an Earthshatter, but ultimates right now definitely in favor of Zealanders. Sound barrier is definitely... as I say that, never mind.
It's a big shatter coming in from DMT, counting through, as well as the photon barrier from Stun Ape to mitigate as much damage as they possibly can. Zoolander and Skipper do find picks of their own, which could be no, it's not going to be a matter in the long run because Bagel did fall off the side of the map, and they're going to have this Symmetra teleported to get everyone back as quickly as they possibly can, as it is going to be last fight territory here if Period cannot win this fight, as Poking is down early on, as this is looking like we're going to be going to a map number 6 currently. The Grenadic Flux out from Interstellar needs to be massive, and they do not find it any picks off the back of it, but Libe is down and out, but still, Bedward have the people on the point. The tire indeed has to be massive, and they take out Stun Ape, which could be huge. A tire of their own does go down from Interstellar. That is huge, as the side of Period are looking to continue to hold on. They need to, or they're going into a map number 6. It's anyone's point at the moment, but Bagel taking out Marble, but both of the flex supports are gone. They don't have that Baptiste any longer, as Period look to hold on. The self-destruct coming out. It is blue in the kill feed currently, but it's still 2 mans as anyone. It's anyone's point right now. They need to find something, and they need to find it quickly, and it does look like Period are going to be able to hold on for the time being.
Wow, that was so close. I think the swap from Poking and Osamu there, so good to be able to get to the point in time and find the picks as well. The most important thing here, and we sort of did not see it amongst the chaos, as they C9. Oh my...
What?
I'm gonna lose my mind. No, it's not how the script is supposed to go. We are going to a map 6, ladies and gentlemen, and it's thanks to the most egregious C9 I've ever seen in NA Open Division history. They were winning that fight. They had won that fight, and they just got off the point. That's no. I'm turning my cam off. Goodbye. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
See you later. See you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
I'm kidding. But like, actually though, that's so egregious. I feel so bad for them as well because like, Period won the fight. They had Night Market available if they'd have won that round as well. Well, now they get the choice over their map 6. Copium, kind of worth. Oh, let's just. We're gonna take a moment. I know we're casters. We're supposed to talk over and react to it and entertaining, but I'm lost for words.
I don't really know what to say.
That was so egregious. That was.
I don't know.
I just look in live one chat and just our producer Solomon just puts lol in all caps. Honestly, that's a good way to describe it as well.
Yeah.
Just for the record, guys, while we collect our thoughts, map 6 will be another control, and Period will get the choice. But now Lijiang and Nepal are out the pool. That leaves Oasis, that leaves Busan, and it leaves Ilios. 3 left. Ilios could be good because Wrecking Ball, but Wrecking Ball kind of bad on Lighthouse, so I think it's kind of bad on Ruins as well. Definitely more Winston and Orisa favored are those maps, so do they go to Ilios? Potentially, but let's talk about that last map first because you know what? Let's not do that. The teams are going to take a bio break. I'm going to go and smash my head against a brick wall and try and lose the last few remaining brain cells that I have that were not lost from that map. We'll be right there. This is map 6, Period versus Bedred Esports. We're going to be going to control. We'll get confirmation of the map for you in a second. Don't go anywhere. Go outside, touch some grass, guys. We're back in 5 minutes. See you then.
back, everyone, and well, we're heading straight into the final map. It's map number 6. We're heading to Oasis, and we're heading back to more ball compositions here from both of these two squads. As well, we'll see who can get the upper hand and who takes the series and continues on into round 9 of the losers bracket.
Yep. After now, what is 2 hours, I believe, of Overwatch, both of these teams are designing it on a control map. Best 2 out of 3 for the points, basically. So much on the first fight as well is control. I wish both of them best of luck and Godspeed, because this is about to get interesting. Particularly in the ball mirror. Last time we saw the ball mirror was on the first control map, and Period kind of dominated. And after that disgraceful C9 that we saw on Lijiang Tower, they really need to come out and dominate here in this first fight.
They really do indeed. They need to get that out of their heads to have any real chance of it, because it can just boom you mentally, and it certainly seems they've forgotten about it already, as Period have taken control of the point early on then.
Nice. So they've won the fight and they've stayed on the objective. This is already an improvement from Lijiang Tower, Judge's Ransom. This is character progression that we're seeing from Period in the map 5 here. This is good for them. Now they have ultimates to snowball. They're going to get them up soon, and most importantly, actually, they have positioning and they have to force Bedward to rotate into them. When they do, they can look to Pincer, Bagel, and Paz as they do here. Live Shield gets low. This is a great time for Period, Osama, and Cocaine to engage on a Pincer.
Now we're going to look to get something started here. A lot of people are low currently. If they can get that DMAC on Interstellar specifically, that could be the opening that Bedward needs. But they've got this point control, but it's going to be Osuma going down first in this fight to their Wrecking Ball counterpart. It's not what you needed to see, as they're going to also lose the mech of Interstellar here, as the Osama is going to come through with stunning with a massive picks coming in from the pulse bomb, and as well taking out the baby Diva, as Bedward are going to come back strong here.
There we go. It's a game of seconds once again, and Osamu dying so costly. I think threw his life away there on the off angle, but great work afterwards, because Period had ults coming up, but I mean 5v6 and Stunape gets the massive 2k pulse bomb. Great work from him to sort of just solidify that fight and give them now the advantage with their own ultimate. Speaking of EMP, Marble gets one tapped, and now they've got their eyes on Zoolander to take him down as well. This looks like it's going to be a fight win for Bedward.
Yeah, it definitely does, as Zoolander is trying to get out before they are fallen, but Osuma is going to go down to Liebe. Liebe is going to go down here, as the Deadeye comes out, takes out Paz, as well as Period to come back strong. They have gotten 2 picks in this fight, and they're going to be able to continue to push forward here. But Marble had to use that Transcendence far back in away from their team. Not going to find much real value from it.
No, I don't think he needed to use it. I just think he chose to and thought that potentially there was going to be some sort of respawn cheese coming in, like basically like we're seeing now. I think he just misjudged the respawns a bit, and honestly, I'm willing to let it pass. Marble's been amazing this entire series, finding pick after pick after pick, providing so much consistent damage that this comp needs. That damage over time is so important because of the burst damage that Cocaine and Osamu offer with their slam sort of one-clip combo. It's alright, it's a map 6 situation. It's easy to panic Transcendence and think I might as well use it rather than lose the fight and hold on to it. Now that Period have got 75% on the clock, it's only ticking up, it's only getting closer to 99, so it's not going to come back to punish them as hard, especially when Viral does not have EMP to immediately flip back. Great pick onto DMT. This fight looks already good for Period.
Yeah, Stunape does find Marble out of this fight, so I mean, if they can find more picks and they can find it quickly, they might be able to flip it, but no, Bagel going down is going to be the nail in the coffin for this fight. Skipper taking out Liebe as well. That's going to be another team fight win, and might be enough to win in this fight, because it does not look like anyone's going to be able to touch here.
Nope. Bedward they didn't get out of the gates once again. They stayed in the stable. Period. After, as we said, I'm sure it'll be clipped up to go back on the socials or go back and watch it in the VOD, wherever. As we said, the C9 was so egregious, but like Period just have completely wiped it from their memory. There is no lack of a mental. They came in fact, more focused. This is probably the best I've seen them play. This is the best we've seen them play since map 1. They looked so good in that map. Obviously, the comfortability. This is a great map for their Wrecking Ball composition. Osamu has only been on Wrecking Ball the entire time, all 6 maps. and it's worked wonders here. Now they're going to be going into Oasis University, a map that is basically dominated by Reinhardt. Period are going to be playing some form of rush composition, and they are. Okay, Osamu, I think for only the second time in this series, moves off the very clearly comfortable Wrecking Ball, goes over to the Reinhardt to try and play more for Interstellar, Skipper, and Marble on these big playmaking heroes.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out well for them. If they can isolate DMT with Pokane's Maywalls, that is the key to success here for Bedward for Period at the moment. We shall see how it goes forward as DMT gonna slam in here, but it's gonna be Viral finding this first pick in the fight. Viral in the skies, making viral plays as Bedward are looking strong on this point here.
Yeah, there we go. Viral, I'm going to take the pun the other way. They were infectious to that fight. There was no Sigma. There was no D.Va. There was a lack thereof. Defense matrix just meant no one could cover Viral. They make the perfect counter swap, the perfect counter pick. That Sigma combo with the Cassidy. Whilst you can shield your Cassidys, they poke away. It's not better than D.Va. D.Va does such a good job of containing that bird in the sky. Now, once again, though, Osama creating so much space, the barrage comes in from the back, but Skipper manages to trade out. It's 1-for-1. Zoolander cleans up Bagel, though. And I think as the dust settles, Period are going to once again take this fight and look to get their first percentage on University.
Yeah, they definitely are here as Zoolander taking out Stun Ape after they used their Pulse Bomb. They're going to see some respawns coming in for Bedward to try to keep it into their favor. The self-destruct is out. As DMT has found Zoolander. They're still trying to do something in this fight. The respawns are coming back now, but the nice stick onto Bagel is going to take that. And finally, this side of Period is going to be able to take this fight.
Yeah, it took a little bit longer than expected. Zoolander being able to walk the rest of his team onto point with that Brigitte, though, meant that Osamu and Pokane could walk back, and then they were the ones that cleaned up. You do invest Pulse Bomb, which, to be fair, isn't too bad. It's a very, very low cost, low resource ultimate. There's nothing really that Bedward can do to immediately punish, minus a minefield. It is blank state. So many swaps, so low on ultimate charge is Bedward that Period only have the advantage if they play the long fight. Osamu, though, has gotten picked off a couple of times in these kind of fights across the series, manages to stay alive for now and looking for that all-important slam engage, though. If he can hit it, it's going to be almost an instant fight win for Period.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is indeed. As they also almost have this minefield on the board. But speaking of minefields, DMT going to start things off here with their minefield of their own. The Deadeye coming out from Skipper here, looking to zone them back, keep them away from the point for the time being. But Osomo is going to go. No, they're going to stay alive there somehow. No. I spoke too soon. Libe taking out the Wrecking Ball of Period there. As it's still anyone's point because they're not really taking this fight as quickly as you might have liked to if you are the side of Bedward at the moment, because, well, now they're going to come back. They've lost the mech of Libe as well as their Wrecking Ball of their own as Pokane comes through with a nice Pulse Bomb stick and taking back the point is Period.
It's really unfortunate for Bedward there because I think if they transcend, if they use Paz's ultimate a little bit sooner, then they have a great chance of winning the fight because they can really go aggressive with it. And then as well, also, if they hold off, they can wait for the aggression that Period had in with the respawn and then go into them that way. But just using it in that moment, they just hit the Transcendence and stood still. Nothing forward, nothing backward, nothing in response of, nothing in aggression to. And they just sort of just got trapped. This is going to be a bomb that comes in from Interstellar off the wall. It managed to find Bagel, losing your Lucio in a rush composition with that Reinhardt. Such an important pick as Interstellar gets to eat on Viral's pulls.
That's huge. Stun Ape does find 2, however. But it does seem like it's going to be a bit too... he does find 3 now. Finally goes down to Pokane on that Tracer as the overtime bar is ticking down. Viral does take out Marble, but for how much longer is the side of Bedward going to be able to hold on before the map goes into the favor of Period and the series, as it's just the Wrecking Ball left. The Pulse Bomb takes them down. No one's going to be able to touch his Period after a heartbreaking number 5 takes the series on map number 6.
There we go. They're going to take the 3-2. Bedward Esports played them close. They played them to the final whistle. With each passing map, they looked like contenders. Unfortunately, Bedward Esports in the end, they were pretenders, weren't they? Nice imitation, but honestly, they do themselves justice here in this series. All memes, all lines, all punchlines aside, they did great. They put some great individual plays and they took them absolutely down to the wire. It was so winnable. I think they were going to win that Lijiang map anyway if it wasn't for that C9.
Yeah.
They played Temple of Anubis. I think they should have won Temple of Anubis. And then there you go. They would have walked away potentially as winners with 3 maps on the board, but such is the harsh, cruel reality of Overwatch. My brain is absolutely fried from that series, but in the end, on Oasis, period, picked up where they left off on map 1. There was a big lack of identity where you can really question how they operate when they were under pressure in some of these middle maps, and particularly on Eichenwald, if you remember Joker's Ransom. But that first map and that last map for Period, they were flawless. They were always in control. They were aggressive. They were assertive. And they were clean. Let's just be honest. And they walk away deservedly 3-2 winners because of those first and last maps.
Yeah, no Morbius reverse sweep for Bedward today.
No, more bucks denied.
More bucks denied. No more billions in chat any longer. As yeah, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I might sound like a broken record, but Marble yet again is just incredible throughout these series. And I mean, not to mention Paz on the winning side. I keep saying about these Flexivores, but they were just that good.
They were. Both of them were amazing, and huge parts of it. Something that I'm really excited for going into Overwatch 2. Eventually, when the game evolves and there are balance adjustments coming in, we're going to be getting off nano boost bots and into something like that. Seeing Zen so much this series is great. It just reminds me all the way back of Overwatch League Season 1 when the best team, the New York Excelsior, played around their Zenyatta and they got results. But where is the Zenyatta without your Tracer? Pokane all over the kill feed. Great job at man-checking Viral and a 9 DMT as well. And whilst I was critical of Asamu as well, the Wrecking Ball is the anchor of your composition. When you don't go in with your Wrecking Ball, they look like an Inter. When you do go in, when you play around your Wrecking Ball, they look like God amongst humans. And Asamu, whilst they definitely did get over-aggressive, they jumped the gun a bit too much. It's expected for this level. I think it's expected for any level below contenders, to be perfectly honest. And especially in some of these high-pressure scenarios, it's okay to make mechanical mistakes. Like, don't get me wrong. And they definitely did happen. To err is to be human, I think the quote comes in. But Asamu, when they needed to, great minefields, great slam engages as well. And honestly, just a great job, because they spent so much time looking at the Wrecking Ball that no one looked at Pokane and no one looked at the flex support as well. The thing with Wrecking Ball is the best way to play it is 6 people look at you or no people look at you. And so much time across that series, 6 were looking at Asamu, and that's the reason he was dying so quickly, because he was being discorded, pulse bombed, shield bashed, rocked, micro-missiled, hacked, everything. But what did that mean? All those cooldowns were now gone, vanished into thin air for the rest of his team to capitalize, and absolutely that's what they did. That is pain tank at the end of the day. That is what, that is what the role of the hamster in that composition. And I have to credit Asamu finally at the death, because they did it really well. And once again, a crucial part, as was everyone, for Period today. Interstellar as well, also just phenomenal all series on the Sigma. That's some of the best Sigma play I've seen in quite a while. Always happy to see the Flying Dutchman come out and be so good, in particular in that composition. Just, yeah, they played that 3-3 comp, they stuck to it, and they played it so well. So credit to Period. They absolutely deserve their dub today. Shame for Bedro, though. Obviously, they're going to be going down and out of the tournament now, I believe. Salutations to them.
But, I mean, in consolation, they are top 32, so they've already gotten what they set out to do. Their full name is Bedward Esport here for beta, and they got their beta access to go forward. And I mean, everything right now is just for position going into contenders at the moment. So I mean, you might have wanted to get higher seeded, but hey, you're still in contenders. You still got the Overwatch 2 beta. And you've got to be happy about that in the end for Bedward Esport.
And I think as well, not to doom the future of this team, because if they thoroughly enjoy playing together, then I absolutely recommend that they stick together, because it was so close today. But I think in particularly most of them, and in particular some of their individual players, we think of Paz, we think of their names, we think of Viral, we think of Stunape. As well, and even DMT, and I forget the name of the off times because I'm just so exhausted.
Libe.
But yes, Libe. They all looked good in moments. They all had them, so they all walk away from this series looking good and looking like an attraction to maybe some of these teams that are potentially missing someone like a Viral, they're missing a flex support like Puzzle, they're missing a solid Wrecking Ball player like DMT. Some of these teams that will finish above them, they're going to have missing pieces too. So Bedred Esports definitely ones to look out for, ones to see how they go forward into the future, because whilst their story as a team may potentially be ending here, as is the case with Open Division, you're so chop and change at this level. Teams exist for at max 6 months at a time. If it doesn't work, you should just break it down and move on. I expect to see these players around, in particular Snipe and Viral, because they were great today, and they'll be back for sure. Absolutely. I expect to see them very high in TOD in the future. So looking forward to keeping eyes on some of these Bedred Esports players going forward. That's going to be it from us, though. Banner of a series. This is going to be our only stream for today, as it went to 6 maps. Currently, the winners game is going on. I actually don't know who that is. I'm going to have to double check, but that started roughly an hour ago. This series absolutely did dragged, but that's going to be it. Big shout out to Solomon and Lottie on the production. Those guys are great as always. My name is Jace. You can follow me on Twitter there, JacePT_. Colocaster, and Joker's Ransom. Very, very well done on the play-by-play today. And yeah, that was a hell of a series. It's 11:15 here in the UK. I'm going to go to bed. I'll throw it over to Joker so we can wrap up. But take care, guys. I will see you all, hopefully, well, in the future.
That's going to be it for us on the broadcast. Thank you all for watching. Peace out. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you all for watching. Good night.